Hey everyone, so I'm back again with another video. This time around, I'm going to be showing you guys stuff that I got at Anime North this past weekend. It's a convention that's held in Toronto every year for anime, gaming, a whole bunch of different stuff. There's a little bit of everything for, well, lots of different people. But this time around, I didn't actually end up getting a ticket. By the time I looked at tickets, the Saturday ticket was already sold out. Weekend passes were sold out, so I was pretty limited on my options, and at least I had the option of borrowing a pass from a friend just to go in for a little bit. So this is pretty much what I got from sort of half an hour looking around. For the most part, I just want to say that the convention is, of course, getting more and more crowded every year. With every year that passes by, they gain more notoriety, and of course, more people show up, more people from further away, and then it just gets very crowded and very busy. The reason why I suppose, started going to Anime North more so than Fan Expo was because Fan Expo was getting to be very big, very crowded, very expensive, but now that's where Anime North is heading as well, so who knows what's going to happen next year in terms of conventions. But basically, again, this is what I got from half an hour of looking around. I didn't buy any video games, I didn't buy any art books, I didn't buy any posters or anything like that. I was looking at a couple of figures, but a whole bunch of the figures that they had there were way overpriced, even more than anything that I'd find at local stores, so I just didn't bother. I almost bought an Imperial Dramon figure. I forget what the name of the company that makes it is, but the cheapest one I could find was $80, and that was still kind of steep, also considering that I like the older Digimon toys, not so much the sort of statues that you can get these days. It just wasn't really worth it. But this is the stuff that I found. Starting off with these toys here. Altogether, I paid $35 for all this stuff between two separate booths. The first set of stuff that I got here are these three Beetleborg action figures. Beetleborg was this series kind of like Power Rangers, except for the kids were younger. They weren't like high school kids, they looked like they were maybe middle school kids. And they turned into adult-sized people in sort of robot beetle suits. That's one of them there. Hell if I can remember what any of them were actually called. But yeah, there's this guy here. Of course, he's missing his weapon. It's sort of stuck onto the side by his thigh. But, oh well. Then there are also these two figures that just look like they're color swaps of each other. Like, they look exactly the same, but if I'm wrong about that, please correct me. And these ones have this action feature where you can, like, swing their arm around, but they have this huge piece of plastic sticking out of their back, so kind of weird looking. But at least the action feature still works on these figures. So let me just get those off to the side. The next item I want to show you guys, I have no idea what this is. They had a whole bunch of them at this one booth, and they were marked for $5. I grabbed this one here because it did have the sort of cover piece that goes with it, but I'm having a really hard time sort of tracking down what this is. Now, I know that it's some kind of Pokemon toy. It's like an electronic thing with two buttons. It's made by Tomy, I suppose. That's how I pronounce it, at least, Tomy, because I feel like that's how I've heard it been pronounced before, so I just pronounce it Tomy. That's what it looks like, and the bottom part, the black part there, just comes off and reveals some kind of like a USB situation, I suppose, but obviously not the shape of a USB. So this must slot into something else. If any of you out there know what this is from, that's it there up close. Of course, it's not powered on right now. I haven't actually put a battery in this yet to see if it even works. But that's it there. If any of you can identify that, please help me out. Now, the rest of the stuff that I got is all Digimon stuff. It's not amazing, but it's some nice little figures here. Some of them are like the little mini, like 1.5 inch PVC figures, and a couple of them are the larger 2 to 3 inch sort of action figures. So I'm going to get them all out and go through them one by one here. So I forget what this guy's name is, but I'm going to assume, because a lot of Digimon names are pretty generic, to put it nicely, that one's probably Starmon. Let me just put that to the side there. Then this one here, I think, is Imperial Dramon, but he's got some like chest gun situation going on there. So he's probably some extra mode or whatever that I really can't remember right now. I promise I'm familiar with these. It's just some of them I like, their names just escape me. I probably should look them up beforehand. Now there's this one here that's like the human form of the sort of spider woman kind of thing from season 2 of Digimon. She was going around with Mummymon, and I can't remember what her name is, but if any of you remember her name, please just let me know in the comment section below. Next is Lilymon, which is, I mean, pretty decent for these little minifigures. That's her up close. For the most part, these were pretty terrible. That's why I don't really collect them. But it seems like there's a hit or miss situation with these, where some of these are sculpted very well, and some of them are just absolutely disgusting and completely misrepresent what the character actually looked like. Next one is also another very good one. It's Antilamon, but this one here I already have it, so it's whatever. That one was in a small bag of like a whole bunch of these together, so I couldn't really take it out or say anything about it. Now the next one here I suppose I should show is the one and only of these action figures that wasn't in complete condition. Like, it's actually missing 2 very integral pieces, which kind of sucks, but at least the action feature works on it. It's a Gargomon, obviously missing both his ears. The sort of plastic bits where his ears clip on are still there, and his action feature does work. You can see his sort of turret fist things still working, but of course his ears are missing, and that kind of sucks. I can't believe that I didn't notice that right off the bat. I was blinded by Digimon. I just picked it up and went with it. The next figure, I actually bought this separately, and I got it for $8, which is kind of steep, but at least it's in perfect condition, really good, really clean. It's a Hawkmon toy. I swear there were a lot of these from Generation 2 that sort of just had like a switch on their back, and they just do something. Here you just move his tail, and his wings / arms flap, which is actually pretty decent, all things considered, instead of there being like a gigantic lever or switch or whatever sticking out of his back. It's just built into the tail, which at least hides it much better overall. And then the last figure that I'm going to show you guys in this video, the last item that I bought at Anime North. I honestly can't tell if this is supposed to be a Rise Greymon or Shine Greymon or Burning Greymon or something else like that. I'm not too familiar with the naming of these other sort of later Digimon, but that's him right there. Yeah, he is kind of small, but like, say, compared to Hawkmon, that's the size, and then compared to the minifigures, he's about that size. And he does have a lot of articulation, but he doesn't really have an action feature. Just his arms move a lot. They move at the shoulder, at the elbows, and even his sort of like arm guard things move around. His tail moves, his wings move, and his legs have multiple points of articulation as well. So it's a pretty nice little figure, but I'm not too familiar with exactly what version of Greymon or whatever this is. So if any of you can let me know in the comment section below, I'd appreciate it, but otherwise I'm probably just going to look it up myself after this video is done. But yeah, that's what I got, as well as a sunburn that you can probably see right there. That's what I got at Anime North this year around. As always, leave comments in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, and website. They're all linked in the description below, and also linked in the description below is a link to my 500 subscribers contest. Check that out as well if you'd like, and that's all I have to say. See ya.